Reese Puffer teacher and football coach Matt Bird has spent more than 2 decades teaching in our state.
25 years in public school education, I've been exposed to a lot of things. I've had a lot of sicknesses. This one is different.
On March 16th, Bird began experiencing some symptoms of COVID-19.
Just started to feel, a spot where when you feel a cold coming on, just kind of a spot in your lungs where things just didn't feel normal. And then my throat got real dry and started to cough a little bit.
Since the virus was still fairly new, especially here in West Michigan, Bird called the pandemic hotline and was connected with a physician.
They asked me to treat it as if it is COVID or the coronavirus, to treat it as such, but they weren't going to test because the testing wasn't readily available at that point.
But Bird's symptoms gradually got better, or so he thought.
I'd get 48 hours feeling good, and then I'd have something come back. And all of a sudden, it was just a veil dropped over the top of you. I could feel it in my legs again, the achiness, the pain, and then this is when the shortness of breath really came on.
That's when he made the trip from Muskegon to Grand Rapids to get tested.
The crazy thing is at that point I tested negative with that first test. So we were confused exactly on what it was.
It was the first of 2 negative tests for Bird, but later he would find out that both of those were wrong.
What they had said is I had it in March. And then this is a pattern that they found, that as the virus starts to go through, it does leave symptoms. And my symptoms were the lung issues where it just really attacked my lungs. And so you almost get like a false negative as the virus starts to leave you.
Bird's family seemed to be spared from the virus. His wife showed mild symptoms, but his kids, including 16-year-old Delaney, who suffers from asthma, never did. He has now been symptom-free for almost 2 weeks and is considered fully recovered.
The dark virus, because it not only hits you here, but it hits you mentally as well.
Zach Herrick, Fox 17 News.